You're watching the Isaiah Factor Uncensored.
And welcome back to the second half of the Factor Uncensored tonight. As many people predicted, abortion restrictions won't stop people from getting the procedure done. Instead, they are getting much more creative. These stickers you see here have been spotted in bathrooms at Texas Tech. It advises people to save the card in case they or a friend need to become, quote, unpregnant. The sticker also has a QR code that takes people to Plan C's website, a national database for finding abortion pills. Now, abortion pills can help with those unwanted pregnancies, but a doctor we spoke with is also concerned about the risk out there. And joining us here on The Factor Uncensored is Dr. Foye Akiator. Dr. Akiator, when we think about these QR codes that they're handing out to female students on some college campuses, sending them to a website to get pills for an abortion, is that correct? Is that the right assessment?
That is correct. That's certainly what's being passed out on campuses in the area that we're noticing now.
And is that legal since the overturning of Roe versus Wade?
It's certainly not legal. And the individuals that are doing it are certainly doing it out of a sense of, feeling like it's the right thing they need to do for their classmates, for women in general. But they're certainly taking some risks in doing this. And if they do get turned in by somebody, more than likely it would not be other students. It may be a citizen or a resident of that town that they're living in currently.
And exactly what is a Plan C pill?
So Plan C pill, and it can be a variation, but what we know to be medications that are used to induce abortion are misoprostol and misoprostone. The combination of these two medications will induce an abortion, or they can help expel or help a miscarriage come to conclusion, essentially expel the fetus or the products of conception.
Now you get those pills once you follow the QR code to a website. How dangerous is that?
So and I'm sure
and I mean without a doctor being involved.
Right. The concern is that, when there is a physician involved, you're able to see the actual pregnancy, you're able to track it, you're able to do an ultrasound after to make sure everything cleared out. But when patients are taking matters into their own hands, there's always a concern that they may have products of conception that are left in the uterus. And that can cause sepsis. It can cause significant hemorrhage or bleeding and lead them to, basically risk their lives or potentially suffer significant consequences from this for their health.
Is this what it looks like when some are pushed into a corner when they overturn Roe versus Wade?
Exactly. And that's what myself and several colleagues have said, is that people are going to find ways to get these abortions. They're going to leave town. They're going to get their hands on medications through the internet or have stuff mailed to them. And so ideally, as physicians, we want to be there to help patients. We want everybody to be safe. We certainly don't want to hear any story about a 19-year-old trying to end a pregnancy and then lose her life as a result of this, which is what may happen as people take matters into their own hands to carry out these abortions.
I'm not asking your opinion on abortion, but what do you just think about this plan that's out here with this QR code that could be in the hands of young women?
Right. I'm nervous. I'm a little bit worried about it just because I see all the time the worst case scenario in the emergency room. I see when it doesn't work out. We see the patient who comes in that tried to have an abortion at home. And this is without even medication.
Are we still seeing that today?
We're seeing that more now as people are trying to take matters into their own hands. And that's scary to know that there is care available and that patients are having to do things on their own and risk their lives.
What would be the best advice for a young woman, say here in Texas, who finds herself in a situation with an unwanted pregnancy? What would be, or what is allowed for her to do, even if it takes leaving the state?
Definitely reaching out to organizations like Planned Parenthood is going to be important, and or other organizations that have medical providers on the back end that are able to counsel. Leaving the state and going to a facility or medical facility is another option, but definitely doing some research. Reaching out to your primary care doctor is always the best first step. Reach out to your doctor, even if your doctor can't necessarily help you towards the specific goals you're trying to achieve. They're going to help direct you to make sure you'll be safe.
And for those who may not be able to afford to go out of town, many companies now, like even Walmart, will provide transportation to some of their employees in certain instances.
Yes. Yes. So that's an option as well. There are many companies, there are many organization employers that have released statements that they'll help with transportation, they'll help with funding, they'll grant PTO time. So there are a lot of resources out here. Nobody should feel necessarily shamed in the decisions they're needing to make for their body or their health. So the first thing is asking for help. Talk to your doctor, talk to your employer, and see what resources they have available through HR.
But you would definitely caution anyone who receives a QR code that leads them to a website and then they just get pills from out of the blue.
Right. I mean, we live in America. We assume there's always, everybody has your best interest, but you don't know where these medications are coming from. You don't know if they're FDA approved. You don't know if they've been inspected. You're not sure, you don't know. There's so many factors that we don't know. And so it's a very risky business to start taking medications like this and hope for the best.
You knew we'd start seeing things like this when that law was overturned here in this country, but we have to deal with it now. Dr.
Right.
Akiyator, always good to see you, and thank you for joining us here tonight on The Factor Uncensored with your medical expertise.